All right, guys, check it out. I got Peter Thomas in the house. This guy is 52 years old. You got quite the history, Peter. Why don't we just tell us a little bit about you, your history. Tell me your three biggest mistakes too, because we were talking about that earlier.
The mistakes of not listening to my wife enough. I should listen to her more, and I'd be probably more successful.
Yeah, listen to the wife, Rita.
But I think when I got started in marketing and sales, I started selling mutual funds when I got out of the Army, and then went into franchising and learned about franchising. I was lucky enough to be able to acquire the rights for Canada for the Century 21 concept, the real estate concept.
Century 21 of all of Canada.
Yeah, and that was sort of my first.
And what year was that?
74.
1974.
Yeah,
okay.
74. Yeah, and really got lucky, and I've always been blessed that I get great people around me. Everybody around me is much smarter than me.
Yeah,
and so
I know how that goes.
And so people help you, and you grow. And we grew that one to about $8 billion. That was my first.
$8 billion.
Yeah, in sales.
That's fantastic.
It was an amazing concept and pretty wonderful. And I got lucky, and lightning struck twice. I had another company called Dogtopia.
Dogtopia, where they take care of dogs.
Doggy
Dog
daycare.
sitting,
Yeah. A lady had about 15, 20 stores, and was kind of struggling looking for money, and so I wound up lending her some money. And then that loan turned into equity, and then it was going to go broke, so I wound up taking over the business, and it's got about 300 now, over 300 stores, and I sold at 165.
165.
Yeah, I took it from like 15 to 165.
Incredible. What were some of the mistakes that you made along the way that, maybe not mistakes, but failures that toughened you up a little bit?
I was trying to think of that the other day, because I thought, I don't focus on mistakes.
Yeah.
You forget about them. So I had to really think about them. And I'm sure there was many, many of them along the way. I think mistakes can be made in the very beginnings of your negotiations. When you think you understand a deal, and you're looking at it, and you negotiate the terms of it, you'd be much better off if you didn't say yes too quickly.
Yeah.
I sometimes agree the deal, shake hands, and you got a deal, and then you realize about a little bit later, you left a lot on the table.
Yeah. It makes sense. I think getting the smart people, we've got a whole deal team, lawyer team, and I talked to so many people that have been ripped off. I mean, look at Bernie Madoff. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And he was a good one. I mean, he was good at
that does amaze me sometimes. You hear those people who rip people off, and the top celebrities, the top lawyers, everybody gets taken in on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah,
I watched a whole documentary about that, and it was insane how long he kept that going. I love the fact it seems like you're living your best life. You're 87.
Yeah,
you're sharp as a whit. You're you're talking about getting a dog.
Yeah,
which is super cool.
We had one before. I think, Tommy, the big thing that I have to guide me is I did a program, 30, 40 years ago, called Life Pilot. And I was in YPO, the Young Presidents Organization, traveled all over the world teaching this program. And really what it was about telling, and there's so many people, you work hard, you just keep work, and it becomes possessed by it. And and so I teach values. And really, in fact, I'm going to be teaching at Joe's, the Genius Youth, at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And I haven't taught a program for about 20 years, so I'm kind of excited about it.
That's really cool.
But primarily what it is, is teach people, what are your values? What do you excuse me, I'll just turn this off.
No problem.
What are your values and what do you stand for? Like, mine are health, freedom, happiness, integrity, and now legacy. I'm really working on what can I leave behind.
Yep.
But if you work on every day, like health, well, then you can't eat crap and stuff like that, and you want to work out because health is one of the things you live for. So I really believe that what people have got to do is they got to identify what's important to them. And once they identify that, and they can just say, like I did, health, freedom, happiness, integrity. So when you say that, then you live your life in alignment with it, with your values. And living your life in alignment with your values gives you the happiest life you can have.
I think legacy, all those, health. What good is, you could have $1 billion. Like, would you trade your life with Warren Buffett? I mean, the deal is, I think anybody would say you trade everything you have in life for an extra 40. You're at 87, but you probably give away everything to say I'm 43. I just turned 43.
I'm actually very happy where I am. I really am, But one of the things I said this, and you just told me you're getting married pretty soon, not too long from now, and I can say at 47, I don't care to be 25. I'm happy. I'm just a happy guy.
Right.
But what I say to me, probably the most valuable and the richest thing that I was smart enough to get was Rita's love. That is my most, if you talk about acquisitions,
Yeah.
you talk about things that you want to have, and earning that, because she's tough. Rita's a phenomenal lady, and I'm sure like yours is. And it just to get somebody that loves you like that, to have that, it's the most extraordinary thing in the world. I give everything away, and I can always make it again anyway.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. It's probably the most. You can't pick your kids. You're stuck with them.
Yeah.
But you can pick your life partner. Yeah. And that makes or breaks people. It's the most decision you'll ever make. I had a young guy, he's 18 years old. He said, "What advice can you give me about business?" I said, "Find out who inspires you, who pulls the best out of you, who doesn't take your bullshit."
Yeah.
And if you get around that person, and Bree and I aren't alike. Like, I love people around. Like, the house is always full. She's like, I just hate all these people all the time. So I'm like, that's why we got a big house. But at the same time, I respect that. So I try to make it work. But she's like, why do you love people around all the time? I'm like, well, I spent most of my life alone as a kid. My sister was a lot older, and I went to a private school as a kid. So I was like, I was used to me and my dog just hung out max. So I don't know. Maybe it's because of my history, but I'm like, I just like experiences, and I guess it's important to me. So
well, you're talking. We work, how hard we work, and we work to set our goals and make our goals. And I remember I went through a real tough one time. I had a partner who went bankrupt all across the country. He was a highly profile guy, and he was my partner. Nobody knew I was a partner. I was a partner in the deal. I was a quiet guy.
Silent partner.
Yeah, silent partner. But him taking down, it wound up. I went down about $150 million. In my net worth was gone to minus 70. That's
oh my gosh.
Yeah, from 150
minus 70
to minus 70. Yep. And so anyway, I sat there, and I was feeling not too good for myself, and I was thinking about it, and I thought, I've lost everything. I've lost everything. And as I sort of thought about it more, I thought, well, hang on, what have I really lost? Well, I lost my money. Okay. I didn't lose my health. I didn't lose my wife. I didn't lose my family. I didn't lose my community where I lived. I didn't lose. In fact, the only thing I lost was my money. And that was the one thing that I could afford to lose because I could make it back again.
Yeah.
And when I really realized that, it's like if you went broke tomorrow, Tommy, I'd bet $10 million blind right now, I'll come and visit you in 2 years from now. And you'll be fat cat. You'll be doing good. You'll be great. Yeah. So because it's a skill set that you
and there's a skill set network. I mean, the network.
And always have your integrity. You do things right.
Take care of people.
Take care. You look after people. Exactly right. And so I realized that I didn't feel bad anymore. I didn't feel quite as good. That little story. I said to my wife, I said, I really got quite concerned. I said to Rita, I said, honey, I was just thinking, because we live a pretty good life, and I was thinking, if I ever lost all my money, I said, honey, would you still love me? And I'll never forget her advice. And what she said, Peter, I'll always love you. I'll miss you. But
I'll miss you. I'll miss you. I'll always love you.
I'll always love you.
But I'll miss you. Yeah, she's a hell of a woman. I really enjoy just being around you. You got a little spark to you. You got a world, just a lot of world experience. And let me just ask you a follow-up. So you're down $70 million negative net worth.
Yeah.
What was your next move?
Well, I had 3 problems over $10 million each. The 3 problems. I'd signed guarantees on stuff.
Busier than me.
No, she's crazy. Anyway, so I had 3 were $10 million or more, and the rest of them was $10 million or under. So I lined them on 18 problems, money problems. So I went out and I made a list. Like let's say I owed you $3 million. So there was 3 guys to over 10. And you were down on those a little bit. But if you called me, I'd keep you posted. I go see you and say, Tommy, I want to make this right. I want to make it right. I got no money, but what can we do? Like if it was a piece of real estate, had a mortgage on, I could give you the property back. So, So I walk away. So anyway, I went out and I worked all 18 deals. and I made a deal with them all. I didn't have much money because had not much money to deal with. But the worst one was the biggest one was the bank, and that was $25 million. I was one bank, $25 million. Had signed for the guarantee, and so it was another guy. The other guy was gone, so they came after me. So I wound up, negotiating with them, and made unbelievable settlement with them because I was honest, I was transparent, and I wanted to solve the problem.
Right.
I wanted to, not just put the problem, kick it down the road.
Right.
We got to finish this because I got to get out of this.
That's incredible. Listen, I don't want to take up too much time. Ashley's yelling at me here, but one final piece of advice. Oh, well, first, one more thing, Peter.
Yeah.
How do people, if they want to see more of you, what's the best way to do that?
Well, they can watch the 1 Minute Mentor.
1 Minute Mentor.
On Instagram,
this guy's got more followers with times me times 4. And he's always putting out great content. So you guys got to follow Peter. I mean, amazing stuff. And give me one final thing for the listeners.
Be happy every day. When you get up in the morning,
choice.
Yeah, get up in the morning. Tommy, it's a choice. It's a mindset. So I get up in the morning and say, today is going to be the best day of my life. And it usually is.
It usually is. Yeah.
A meeting with you here. It's been a lot
with you here. Listen, I'm just a big fan. I'm going to come out and visit. I told you, look, the biggest thing for me is I always say I'm busy, but I'm building the life I want.
Yeah.
And it's not going to change tomorrow, but I've got a file that says me at 45. And It's not today. It's not next week. It's not next month. I've got prior obligations. I got to fulfill what I said to the people I care most about. But I'm getting married. We're going to have kids. We're building some cool places. My mom and dad are still around. It gives me 2 years. I just turned 43 yesterday.
I was going to ask you.
So baby steps. And then I'm literally... I'm manifesting this life at 45, and it's not going to happen overnight. So I know the steps I need to take. And delegation, we talked about this. I'm delegating way more, and I'm going to have a lot more freedom. And what's hard for me, and I'll just say this because they're getting me to go here, but it's hard for me to say no to people because literally, if a kid comes up to me and says, hey, man, I'm struggling. So many people let me in. It's hard for me to say I won't take a few minutes, but I got to make sure I take care of Bree, my fiance. I got to make sure
You'll learn that. Yeah. You'll learn that. But I do have to tell you one thing. At 45, you need to stretch that to about 85 now.
Yeah.
You really do. To what do you like? What I did. I don't. Here's what I did. I said, "What a picture of me at 85." I said that to me when I was 40, and in that picture, I had a blonde girl with me. I was dressed up in a beautiful, elegant suit at 85 in my mind, and I had I was at London, getting out of a Rolls Royce, going to a play, going to the theater. That was the picture I had. And that blonde was Rita. That was before I met her.
Oh, I love it.
That was before I met her. And it was her. I mean, there's no question it was her. So I really believe in your mindset, your mind pictures.
And work at it.
Yeah, and work at it. You create your future. You're responsible for it. And if you aren't making any great grand plans, then you're not going to have any.
Big plans, dream bigger. Thanks, Peter.
Okay.
Appreciate you, my man.
Thanks,
Phone's
Tom.
ringing off the hook. Let's do this.